Okay, today we are back and we're going to do a little science. We're going to test some new bands that came on the market recently from Tritium Sling Co. That's the business from Weston Crockett. He has gone out and had some special latex made, and he made it in purple, in pink, and it's all 0.45. And as he told me, the pink is better for long draw, purple is better for short draw. So we're going to test and find out. But before we do, let's make sure to like and subscribe down underneath. That way we help our channel get boosted a little bit. And leave comments. Let me know what you think of my testing. I've tried to think this out so there won't be any flaws. I've watched a lot of Mythbusters in my lifetime, so I'm hoping that I get the testing right. So we're going to see what the numbers come out to be. One thing before I get started, we are a brand ambassador for Simple Shot. Today we will be using Simple Shot Axiom X frames, identically set up, one with purple and one with pink. That way everything is equal. If you're interested in slingshots or you need new stuff from Simple Shot, use my link that's in the description below. And I will get a small commission off of it. And as I make enough money, I will buy more stuff from Simple Shot. So the money's going to go right back to them initially until there's nothing there left that I need. And then I'll buy things like upgrade my computer and stuff like that. Anyway, enough of that. Let's get to the testing. How are we going to do it? I've made up a pink band and put it on my red Axiom X. And I've made up a purple band and put it on my black Axiom X. These bands were both made, they're both 0.45. They were both made to a 2212 taper, and they are the exact length. They are both brand new, never been shot. So what I'm going to do before we get started on the testing is I'm going to take 10 shots on each one just to get them kind of broke in and stretched out and loosened up and ready to go, so we're all on equal footing. How are we going to do the testing, you ask? First thing I'm going to do is draw weight. I have a fish scale. It's even digital. And that is going to give us our draw weight, how hard it is to pull back. I'm doing all of this on short draw because that's what I'm best at. But technically in short draw, the purple should be a little bit snappier than the pink. In theory, that's what we've been told. It's what we're going to find out today. Obviously, these tests are going to translate out to long draw as well. We're going short draw. It's a little easier, a little less stressful, and it's a whole lot easier to get a pull weight on short draw than it is to try and stretch it way out and put your hand past where you would draw. So anyway, we're going to do a draw weight on that. And as you can see, I have a chronograph. Just picked that up a couple weeks ago. It's going to measure the feet per second that our ammo is traveling. We're just going to shoot through it, aiming at the target. We don't care what we hit down there because all we're doing is a speed test. So we will fire that up in a little bit and we'll get that set up. But first, let's do our 10 shots just to get the bands warmed up. I'm going to move this out of the way and you will be able to see the 10 shots just for your own record, so you know everything is done equally and fairly. So we're just going to take 10 quick shots with the pink bands. Don't really care what I'm shooting at. There's 1, 2, 3, 4. 4. I'm not even aiming. I'm just making sure I hit the target. 5, 6. Yeah, drop the ammo. 7, 8. I've got one 9mm floating around in my 8mm bag. 9, and I always seem to grab it when I don't want it. And here's our 10th shot with the pink. Now we're going to pick up the purple for our 10 shots. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, actually hit a target, 8, 9, and our last shot. I tried to shoot the same on every pull. That means I'm not going to go up there and hold it for aim, because that can stretch the bands out. If you noticed, that was all real time, no cuts, except for when I swapped slingshots and stuff like that. But that was 10 shots, quick turnaround between them, so they're all warmed up. Now let's do our first pull weight and see what we get. Actually, I'm going to feed this hook right through the band so there's no question that it's on there. I don't have to worry about it. Okay, let me reset it. Okay, here we go. Here's our pull. 6.78. Let's do that once again to make sure we're consistently in the range. 6.58. One more time. 6.44. So right around 6.5, 6.6. That's our pull weight for purple. We're going to average that out in my head real quick. We're going to call that 6.55. Okay. Now we're going to test it with the pink and see what kind of a pull weight we get. Okay, I've got it threaded on. Let me put my safety band on just in case. Okay, let's reset. Here we go. 6.4. Okay, let's see what this one gets. 6.6. 6.7. This one seemed to get higher. So again, we're right in that 6.55, 6.6 range. Pull weight seems to be about the same. One other little non-scientific test. Appearance. The pink appears to be opaque, almost like you can see through it, where the purple is very much a dark color, a solid color. They don't seem as opaque. What does that mean? I don't know. That's just my unscientific observation. Now, let me stop the camera and get set up for our speed test, and I will be right back. All right, I think we're set. I believe you can see my readout. There's 2 dashes on it. We're going to take 5 shots with each color and track that information. Got my own pen and paper so I don't forget. Okay, I've got my tablet out so I can track my numbers, and then we can do the math real quick. So here's our first shot with the pink. And I'm going to be releasing right there at the thing. So 215.6. Okay, shot 2. 218.9. Shot 3. 218.4. Right in that kind of range that I would like to have, somewhere in the range of 220 for my shooting. Okay, shot 4. 219.1. They seem to be getting a little better as they get warmed up. So maybe we'll do this test twice and see what we end up with. And shot 5. 215.6. Okay, just at first glance, it looks like we're sitting on about 217 for our average. Okay, now let's go with the purple. I will have on screen what that added up to. I can't do the math because my phone is my camera. So let's shoot the purple now. Shot 1. 209.1. Interesting. 215.3. Here's shot 3. 216.1. These seem to be going up too. That would make sense. The bands might be getting warmed up. 218.9. 214.9. All right. There's your numbers. There's your average. Very close. Now, let's go back and do this test one more time to make sure our consistency numbers are there. We're going to go back to the pink first. Now that it's been shot a little more, the numbers seem to go up as we shot. So let's see if they start to stabilize now with the second round. 217. 215.1. I think you guys can see those numbers as they're registering. 219.7. 218.5. 217.7. Okay, the numbers seem to have come in about the same. Let's do the purple now and see how those numbers shake out on round 2. $216.5. Ooh, only 210.9. 206.6. These seem to be going down now. That's interesting. 206.6. Okay, this is shot 4. 216, back up. 211.5. All right, I'm going to stop the camera and do some quick math and see what our numbers come out to be. All right, so I'll be right back. Don't go anywhere. Okay, after a few minutes of ciphering using my calculator, here's what we came up with. First round, pink, 217.52 feet per second. Round 2, 217.6. Very, very similar. It's like almost dead on the same between the 5. Very interesting. Okay, here we are with our purple. First round, average 214.86. Round 2, it actually went down to 213.8. So, very scientific, but not completely conclusive yet. I am going to run one more test because I discovered something and noticed something, tendency while I was doing those shots. What I noticed is when I pulled back and let go, boom, I got a low number. If I pulled back, held for just a second like I'm aiming, I got a higher number. So for this test, I'm going to pull back and I'm going to hold. I'm going to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and I'm going to let go on 5, and I'm going to do that again for 5 shots and see what kind of consistency and what kind of speed we get out of those bands. So this will determine the snappier band, hopefully. And this will give us some final scientific evidence for what we are trying to uncover with this new tritium latex. Once again, for consistency, let's start with the red slingshot pink bands. So remember, we're going to take 5 shots. We are going to hold for a count of 5 before we let go. All right, here we go. Shot 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 218.4. Here comes shot 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 216.8. I think this test gives us a little more validity because very seldom do we just reach back and let it rip. we almost always take a second or two to aim. So let's try this on shot 3. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 216.7. Okay, here is shot 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's 217.3. All right, here comes our 5th and final shot with the red. One, 2, 3, 4, 5. 211.2. All right, that was our 5th shot at 211.2. Okay, here we are with our purple bands. Let's put our safety bracelet on. Make sure we're safe. We're going to do now 5 shots with a 5 count before release. Here we go. Shot 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 218.3. Okay, here is shot 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 217.4. Okay, here comes shot 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 215.7. All right, here we go for shot 4 with the purple tritium. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 214.4. And here is our final shot. Shot number 5, tritium purple. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 215.4. Going to stop again. Let me do some quick ciphering and math, and I'll be right back. Okay, here are the actual final numbers. Remember, round 1 and 2 on the pink, which is quick draw boom, we got 217.5 on FPS and 217.6, which is right on, pretty much exactly the same. Those were the first 2 rounds. First 2 rounds on the purple were 214.86 and 213.8. A little bit slower, and the second round seemed to have dropped. Now here's where it gets interesting. Remember I said it seemed the numbers were better with the hesitation before we let go? On the pink, the average with the 5 count pause before we shoot came out to 216.08. That is a full 1 to 1.5 feet per second slower. So it did not help those. Now here's where it gets really interesting. On the purple, with the 5 count hold before we let go, we came in at 216.2. So it outperformed the pink in this test where you hold it. That one actually went up 2 to 3 feet per second by holding it. What does that tell me? Unless you're a real nerd and you can feel the difference, they're probably a wash. But what that also tells me is maybe if you're shooting outside in the cold, the purple seems to have that hold where it will hold its strength a little longer without losing it. So maybe in the cold weather, that would be your band of choice. You won't lose quite as much pop. But for most shooters, unless you're real nerdy, and I'm a little nerdy, but hey, unless you're real picky about it, they're pretty much equal, within 1 or 2 feet per second for the equal band length. And the purple does provide a bit snappier performance under circumstances most of us shoot at where we're going to hold, line up our shot, and let go. I can tell you just by completely unscientific feel, when I pull back the purple, they do seem to have more pull on them. They seem to have a heavier pull on them. It's just my feel. The pull on them was pretty much identical. The feet per second, if you're fast drawing, the pink wins. If you hold it out and aim, The purple edges it out just barely, but it does seem to hold itself better on a long draw, not a long draw, but a drawn out wait time while you're aiming. So take that for what it's worth. That's the science we came up with. Is it official? Is it perfect? Feel free to comment and tell me if I have any flaws in it. Maybe we'll come back and readdress it again down the road. But for now, I think I'm going to sign off and say the tritium latex is awesome in both colors. And you can't really go wrong. And it's a nice smooth draw. It's my favorite right now. So wrapping it all up, choose whatever color you like, whatever goes best with your frame. If you're going to be shooting outside in the cold, maybe go with that purple just for that durability factor where maybe it'll hold its tension a little bit better on a drawn out aiming time. That's really the only recommendation. I can't see a huge difference between the two. Maybe my science is wrong. Feel free to correct me in the comments. I'll try not to take it too personally. This is the way I tested it. This is my science. I thought about it before I went in, all the things I wanted to do. Hopefully this explains a little bit. In my opinion, pick the color you like best. Pick the color that goes best with your slingshot and looks the coolest. It's better to look good than to feel good. So, go with what you like. There's a very, very, very subtle difference. But most shooters, unless you're top level, is not going to notice much difference. So that's my findings. That's my science. Hopefully that explains and helps you a little bit. So keep on slinging. Thanks for watching. And we got more fun stuff coming up in the future. I got some more slow-mos coming, and I got some more ideas for other content. So feel free to feed me some ideas of what you'd like to see done with this slingshot. Keep slinging, friends. God bless, and we will see you next time.